All right, everybody. So, uh, we got a 5:30 today, so it's going to be fun because we've just been over the weekend. We were dismantling stuff and moving stuff and trying to get things packed up and everything. Because hopefully, here within the next 2 months, we'll have our Nashville studio, and I'm relocating back to Nashville, where I was born and raised, and uh, I got friends every freaking where. Who knows? We'll figure it out. It's going to be fun. I hope everybody is surviving these run through thunderstorm showers that everybody's been having. It's we just had one like 30 minutes ago. It's crazy as I'll get out. But anyway, let's get to it. Uh, we got 30 minutes with Mr. Christopher Wyze, so we're going to hang out with him and check out, because I'm really curious at all the things that he's accomplished in such a short period of time. It's just amazing to me. So let's holler at Chris. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I can hear you all the way up here. I'm in Indianapolis, and you're a little bit down south.
Well,
good to be here, David.
I had the volume turned down. I don't know.
I heard you, man.
Oh, Lord. It's crazy as I'll get out. Dude, you've been making things move and shake, and you just rolling right along. It amazes me.
Well, as you can see, I'm not a teen idol anymore. So I feel like I got this to-do list. And if you just don't chop wood every day, I mean, how much wood you're going to get chopped? So we're getting after it.
Exactly. Well, I've run through the same thing, because when I started this podcast, everybody was like, well, won't nobody even know who you are till like 5-6 years. And I'm just like, I'm starting year 3, already a CMA member. The first podcaster to ever be a CMA member.
I saw that. That's cool.
And we've just been rattling and rolling all the way along, because, it's like I tell some other people, especially younger artists, I tell them, whatever you do, if you run into an old man and he likes your music or something like that, you might want to take just a couple of minutes and listen, because I've been in that industry on weekends doing lights and sound for 40 something years. I've seen a lot of stuff. Now, how long have you been in the industry?
Well, I started making music about 20 years ago. My career was being a writer. I'm a writer. I wrote books. I'm an advertising guy. I still write advertising. I still do that. But I got into cover bands about 20 years ago. I sang as a kid, sang in choirs, and high school and all that kind of stuff. And then, got busy with everything in the world and went away from it. And about 20 years ago, started singing in cover bands. And long story short, I met an older guy about my age, your age. And he said, hey, this music stuff, you're okay at this. You and I ought to do a record someday. And I said, man, I'd love to do a record with you on your record, man. He goes, no, it's going to be your record. You need to start writing music. Yeah. And this guy was Ralph Carter, my producer. Ralph spent many years with Eddie Money, the rock and roller, and was in his band and wrote songs with him, was his tour musical director. And I met him in Clarksdale, Mississippi at a blues camp. And we just hit it off. I met him a dozen years ago. And he kept after me for a little while to start writing songs and keep writing songs. And then eventually we recorded an album of my songs and Ralph's songs with a couple other guys, some co-writers, in about 2022. And before you knew it, another older gentleman by the name of Johnny Phillips signed me to Big Radio Records in Memphis. Yeah, that's the family that signed Elvis. That was his uncle Sam. So hey, what Johnny Phillips says, we'd like to have you on our record label. That's really cool, and I listen too. So we did a studio album in Muscle Shoals in 22. We released the album literally just a little over a year ago. Our debut album on July 19th of 2024. We followed up less than 9 months later with our second album, which is a live album called Live in Clarksdale. Yeah. And so there you go. You're right. We have been getting after it in the last couple of years.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just the thing that I love is the things that we have learned and people that you have actually been fortunate enough to be in contact with and do things with. It's they're staples in the industry, you know, and they know what it takes and what you got to do and how you've got to sound, and it's just it's amazing because if I remember correctly, I believe the Eddie Money song. He almost produced the whole daggum album on that, didn't he?
Well, Ralph wrote a lot of songs like "Shakin'." That's a song
Yeah,
that Ralph wrote with Eddie. And I said, "Hey, how was it with Apollonia there in that video? She's a cute girl." He
yeah.
said, "I played bass, man. They don't let the bass player meet the star." So, so he was in the trenches, man. But when he says, "Hey, kid," I don't think he called me kid because I wasn't a kid, but
Yeah,
I think you can do this music thing. And it's like, hey, man, I'm all ears. I'm here to learn. I'm here to listen. I'm
yeah,
here to take advice from you. And he marched us into a studio in Muscle Shoals. I'm almost glad I didn't know what was going to happen because here's my iPhone. Ralph and I wrote about 8 songs together in Clarksdale, Mississippi at a picnic table down there.
yeah,
And then a few months later, we show up in Muscle Shoals. He's auditioned the studio guys. He's written the charts. He's set things up for us to be successful in the
yeah.
studio. And he said, "Chris, your job is to show up." And and I did. And I also listened to Ralph, but I didn't know what we were getting into, but it was really an amazing experience to spend a week with some session guys that I'd met on Monday morning, and we started
Yeah.
making music that day. Friday afternoon, we checked out, and Ralph ran the whole show as the producer. And he's used to being a recording artist,
Yeah.
and he said it was such a joy to not have to play and not have to be in the band, which I was a little worried about. I said, "Hey, do you want to be on the record?" And he's like, "No, I don't." And so we ended up with this record. I didn't have anything to do with it. Ralph and I just said, "We're going to make a record." That's where this whole crazy thing started. I didn't have a record deal. I didn't have any idea what you do with a record. It was at a point in my life where, you know what? Ralph Carter says, I need to write songs. I'm going to write songs.
Yeah.
Ralph says, we're going to make an album. I'm going to make an album, and we'll see where it goes.
Oh
And
yeah.
through the Nashville Songwriters Association, I joined. I met Jim Riley. He's a producer. He's in Nashville, and he was with the New Dillons, and he participates in the NSAI's mentor program, where you
Right.
can send a guy some music and he listens to it. Well, he did. He listened to my album. It was done. I didn't have. I mean, it was just sitting there. It'd been sitting
Yeah.
for a year, and he said, "Hey, this is good. I would buy this album." And da da da. We talk, and he said, "What are you going to do with it?" And he said, "How can I help you?" I said, "I want to get a record deal." He goes, "Oh no, you don't want a record deal. You should do it yourself and all this." I'm like, "No, no, no. I've written books and I've got a publisher, and they do a lot of stuff for you, even though, yeah, fine,
Yeah.
whatever. But I wanted to do it with a record label, and lo and behold, Jim Riley introduced me to Sam Phillips, Selecto Hits, and Big Radio Records. And a few months later, we signed a deal. We cut 3 more songs in Clarksdale, Mississippi to kind of juice the album up a little bit. And then literally about a year ago, we released it. There it is up on the wall, stuck in the mud. That was our
Yeah.
debut album. And I just found out last week we are up for a Blues Blast Music Award, which it's one of the magazines in the blues world. It's a digital magazine, and I'm up for, let me get this right, Best New Artist Debut Album of
Yeah.
the Year. And you can go to Blues Blast Magazine and check it all out. But man, it's been a whirlwind. And
It's
then we did the
crazy.
second album.
You know the thing about that blows me away, and there's a reason behind this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Uh, you're like piddling around the house or doing something, and then you get a phone call or you get a text message, and you're just like, "Oh crap! Uh, okay, I'm up for an award. What the heck, And
Yeah.
just did you get floored when you seen that you was up for that?
I got to be honest, David. For about 3.5 years now, I have been completely floored, like 24/7. I mean, I get to go make a record in Muscle Shoals, Alabama,
Oh yeah,
with
and
great
that's home.
musicians.
That's
What's
home
that?
of blues right there, man. I
Oh,
mean,
baby, it's so cool. And then we signed a record deal, and I've got a publicity person, and I got all these folks around me, and social media, and da 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 da, and we're on charts really around the world. France, I got a
yeah,
crazy number of fans in France,
dude.
Australia, Germany, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium. I mean, it's coming from all over. So yes, I'm floored. I was floored when I heard
You
that
know,
I was up for an award, and I'm floored every day because it's
well,
just a joy.
that's what blows me away about the internet and all that stuff. People are getting listens and like, you know how sometimes when you look on your stuff, who's streaming it the most, and artists have actually told me they were blown away that their stuff was being streamed the most in like Germany or
Yeah.
Scotland or
That's crazy.
Australia. And I'm just like, dude, you have no idea.
Well, Paris, France, I think is the city that has the most streams. If I look at my
Yeah.
Spotify stuff, it's really cool to be able to really see where your people are that listen to your stuff, and
Well, yeah.
I'm blown away.
And that's what I tell a lot of people, it's you get those numbers up and everything. And then when the booking agents are looking at where to send you, they're looking at all that
Yeah.
info and they know to send you. So get your passport ready. You're fixing to take a trip.
I would love to. Hey, you mentioned about booking. Well, the funny thing is people say, well, where do you guys play and all this stuff? I think I mentioned to you, we formed ourselves for a studio project.
Right.
But we really weren't a band. That name, Christopher Wyze and the Tellers, I didn't have that band name when we made that record. I didn't realize I needed it until, we're going to have a record deal. And now I got to get all this stuff going.
Oh, yeah.
So we have played this band, Christopher Wyze and the Tellers, 2 shows in our life. 2 shows. The first show we did was on October 1st, 2024, just a few months after our first album came out.
Yeah.
I did a show in Clarksdale at the Juke Joint Chapel, a little juke joint down there. And we filmed it and recorded it. And that's over there. That's our Live in Clarksdale album. And
I was seeing that.
Yeah, our first show was a live show that we filmed. So I've got a video of it, and we've got videos up on YouTube. We recorded it and released it as a live album. And so that was really the first show we did. And we did a show here in Indianapolis a few weeks ago. And so now we're starting to say, well, maybe we need to go do shows. But we started out as a recording artist kind of thing, a recording project. And we got two records out without ever having really played a show.
And just a suggestion.
Please.
The world is dying for a new blues Christmas album.
Ooh, wait a minute. I'm writing that down, man.
Yeah.
I am writing that down. Blues Christmas album.
Wow. I had a buddy of mine 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because he was a big music guy. He was like streaming stuff and everything else. And he actually sent me some blues Christmas songs, and they like back in the day, old Christmas songs, and the one that stuck out with me the most, and I know you know it, was Santa Claus Wants Some Lovin'.
Oh man, I don't know that, but I'm going to look that one up.
Look it up.
You are exactly right. Christmas blues, Blue Christmas by Elvis. What a song, man. That's incredible.
And Porky Pig nailed it too,
That's so good. I got to come and hang out with you, man. We would have some fun. Dude. Hey, you are a truck driver. I read that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love that. One of my songs
actually
on the first album is called Soul on the Road. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting in the courtyard of the Shack Up Inn. I'll call it a courtyard. It's just a yard with a picnic table. And I saw a guy packing up. He actually was packing up his motorcycle one morning, and I'm like, man, who is that dude? And where's he going? And what's his world all about?
Yeah.
And I closed my eyes and I conjured him into a truck driver. And I wrote a story about a truck driver who, uh, I met a fella. He told a story about life on the road, of trucking, toting boxes, but never carrying no load.
Yeah.
And I made up, this song about this guy who lives his windshield world, man. That's his world.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to sort of get in with the truck drivers. I think my music would fit, but Soul on the Road was kind of my ode to the drivers out there.
Yeah. Well, the biggest part about me was I've been driving a truck over the road for almost 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
I got 7 million safe miles. But when I wasn't on the road, I'm in downtown Nashville doing lights and sound and all that other stuff up until the last marriage. She was like, "You're not making enough money." Okay. Yeah. But anyway, you know how it goes. And that's when I got away from doing the lights and sound. And I was like, dude, what made me mad the most was, as a truck driver, you got to make it from point A to point B. You got a time limit and you got to be there to deliver at a certain time. You got to pick up at a certain time. And you're going through all these great areas.
You never get to see it, do you?
When the movie Tombstone came out,
yeah,
I probably seen the get off ramp for Tombstone probably 100 times before the movie ever come out. And to this day, I have yet to go to the city of Tombstone and check it out.
I might have to write a sequel to Soul on the Road. I'm getting more material here, man. That's really good. No, and that's what's fun about writing songs. I was an advertising guy. I wrote books, but they were all, nonfiction. Okay, here's a product. You got to write about it, right? You don't get to make up what the product is.
Yeah.
And I always thought someday maybe I'd write fiction, but it's like, I write books and it's 40,000 words. That takes a while.
Yeah.
And you can see I'm no spring chicken. Well, hey, a song is like 200 words or 300 words. So you can tell a little start to finish story, a fictional story, or it could be a autobiographical story.
Oh yeah.
In just a few hundred words. So, and that's where the name of our band, The Tellers, came from. It's like, look, our songs tell stories.
Yeah.
That's the point. And, that's what we're all about. And the blues and country blues is sort of the genre that it goes around.
Right. And that's what I love about all of it, because it's like I was telling a friend of mine, because I was telling them about you coming on the show, and they were like, well, I'm going to check them out. And I said, go for it. I think you're going to like it, and you don't see that many blues bands coming about here lately.
You and I were talking about Europe, and where we have a lot of listeners. I'll tell you, there a heck of a lot of blues guys here in the U.S., are able to survive because they go to Europe and tour.
Yeah.
And it's hard here in the U.S. I hang out in Clarksville, Mississippi. Most of the songs I've ever written, I've written in Clarksville, Mississippi. There's just something about, the vibe and the groove and slowing down and getting away from everything. But you walk down the street in Clarksdale any day of the year, and half the people are from another country. It's not like they're from another city. They're from all over the world. And they really revere this music that came up out of the Delta.
Yeah.
That is true American music. And, it's got his fingers and fingerprints all over country and all over gospel. And, it's in rock and roll. My goodness, there's 3 chords in rock and roll. There's 3 chords in the blues, by and large. All those genres of music just kind of work together. But for me, it kind of came up out of the blues. I wrote a song called Cotton Ain't King, because going down to cotton country, it occurred to me that there's not as much cotton being grown today. There's a lot of corn and soybeans being grown down there and other crops. And cotton doesn't make the world go round. But you know what? Those guys who were doing it a long time ago, some of them, it wasn't their choice, but what they left behind was that music. And
Yeah.
so my song is Cotton Ain't King, Blues is the king.
Well,
Blues really is the king.
and sometimes people will laugh at me when I say this, but I remember the Andy Griffith Show.
Oh, absolutely. I watch it almost every night with my wife.
Exactly.
I
And
love it.
well, when I built this house, my shrubbery and everything out front, it died.
Of course.
And I've got a big front porch. And the first thing I thought, I'm going to pull all the shrubs and all this dead stuff, and I'm just going to let the grass grow up because I want it to look like that Andy Griffith porch,
I love it when he's out there playing a guitar, don't you?
That's the whole thing about it. It's like, you go back in the day and they would be picking cotton and doing all this other stuff. But when the day was close to coming to an end, they were on the front porch and they were just picking, and things were coming up, and they were writing songs while they were sitting on the front porch.
That's exactly it. Isn't that amazing? And that music is still with us. To me, it's kind of, I get a little choked up, but I love going to Clarksdale. I love hanging there.
Yeah.
I got that picture back on the wall. That's you can't quite see it, but it's off the cover of my first album. That's me stuck in the mud there with a tractor, and that's the name of the album, Stuck in the Mud. It's
oh yeah.
I was working with an illustrator. I've been an advertising guy, so I've been around, graphic arts and design my whole career. And so this guy is an illustrator. He's from Spain. His name's Coldo Barrasso. He's here in the U.S. now. But Coldo keeps drawing this picture of me in the Mississippi Delta, and he's got these hills and mountains and things. I'm like, Coldo, no hills and mountains in Mississippi and the Delta. It is flat as a board, brother.
Yep.
He's like, Chris, I don't understand. How does that work? And I'm like, dude, just draw a straight line. I know that's not cool, but there you go. That's the Delta right there.
Make it look like a flat horizon. That's all you got to do.
There you can see it right there in that picture.
Yeah.
So Coldo did a bang up job, but we had to do a little hand holding with him.
But at least you got it across to him, I
did.
Sometimes
I think he thinks I'm lying to him, though. He's like, well, where I am, he's out in Boise, Idaho. Well, how could you have? I don't think he's ever been to that part of the U.S. So we'll get him down there someday.
Well, that's what's crazy, because everybody keeps asking me, since you drove a truck, where would you you've been to all 48 states? Yes, I have.
Cool.
I've been to Canada 3 times. If I could figure out how to drive a truck to Hawaii, I'd probably drop by there. But I've seen the biggest majority of this country.
Yeah.
And I prefer to live in Tennessee.
Well, it's awful pretty. I'm from Southern Indiana, which is about a mile from Kentucky. You get into Kentucky and roll into Tennessee and Bowling Green and all those areas. I mean, it's as pretty as can be. I live here in Indiana. People say, oh, Indiana's beautiful. It's like, no, it's kind of like Kentucky and Tennessee are kind of a spiffed up Indiana. They're really nice.
Well, what's weird is back in the day, I couldn't go to Cincinnati.
Yeah. Okay.
Without singing the WKRP in Cincinnati song.
Well, I love that, man. You and I are of the same era. I want to hop in the truck with you, and I'll take harmonicas, and we'll have at it.
Well, I'd have to get another truck. Right now, I'm just driving like a yard dog, moving trailers around the yard and stuff.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing.
I'll do some short songs with you.
Yeah, we could do some short songs. But going down towards, running across Texas and all that stuff, it just going through Amarillo, and first thing that pops up, Amarillo by morning.
Well, I was driving to Memphis to meet Ralph Carter to go write some songs when this whole adventure started. And I looked down at my GPS in a Ford Explorer there, and I said, where the heck am I? And it said 3 hours from Memphis. And I'm like, oh, 3 hours from Memphis. I'm like, holy cow, that's a song. And I literally had this idea of this song in my head, like instantaneously. I don't know where it came from. So I actually wrote the lyrics to the song right there on the console, kind of the armrest thing on a little notepad thingy. And I wrote the whole song, and I I looked up and I was 1 hour from Memphis. I had written that song. I didn't know at the time I would later have a record label in Memphis. I wrote the song about going to Memphis to meet a record guy.
Yeah.
It was strictly fiction. And it happened. It's just the weirdest thing, man. And it happened.
It's crazy.
I don't understand it, but I'm happy to be here, man.
Well, I've told a lot of people, because I've listened to a lot of music in my lifetime, and I'll probably listen to a lot more before I get out of this craziness of this world. But it's amazing to me, songwriters almost in some of the songs kind of sound like prophets, because they're singing the song, and then it might give it a year, give it 2 years, and then you'll see that song come to life. Like, I'll give you a good example. The Sound of Silence. One of the verses in it is, "We all bow our heads to the neon god we made."
Yeah, I remember.
Now you look around and everybody's looking at that neon god in their hand.
That's really good, man. I like that.
I
I'm
mean,
a Simon and Garfunkel, man. What a great movie, The Graduate. Jeez.
yeah.
Oh, great stuff. Great.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I mean, it's just, and then when it got remade by Disturbed, they brung a darkness with the music and his vocals to me that really set that song off.
It's a little bit of a dark song. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
It gets crazy as all get out with all that stuff. But dude, I'm glad you're up for an award. And
thank you so much. Blues Blast magazine. Go there, check it out. Vote for all the guys. I mean, it's tremendous music there.
Oh yeah. And the reason I had that was because today I get a text from a friend of mine. And I'm looking down going, what? Holy crap. So evidently Infinity Music Awards.
I saw that. Yes.
Did you see
tell
that?
The world. It says here, Infinity Music and Film Awards.
Yes.
I saw it today, and I'm voting for you, brother. And I think everybody listening here needs to go vote. And then if they get around to me, well, hey, you come first because you're the host of the show.
Well, my big thing is I really want people to go and vote.
Yeah.
Because every vote counts with this.
That's great. That's wonderful. I went on there to try and vote, but it doesn't open up until after we're done, which, by the way, I got to go get my tractor unstuck out of the mud. Got to run.
I love it, brother. Tell everybody where they can find you and all this great music.
Yeah, go to the artist's website. Always, we need that support. It's Christopher Wyze, WYZE.com. ChristopherWyze.com. It'll get you to our music, our videos. You can find out how to vote for the award. Everything's there. Lots of stories. Good stuff. David, what a pleasure, man. It's been great to meet you. I'm going to come see you someday.
Hey, do it. Come out and actually at the studio, we'll have it where you can bring everybody and set up if you want to.
Oh, that would be fun. All right, my friend. Great to talk with you. Okay.
I appreciate you. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right, everybody. We're going to get off here. Christopher gave us as much time as he could. I know he's got other things going on that he's got to take care of. And it was really great meeting somebody that's writing some blues music and taking the time and doing the things that he needs to do. And he thinks a lot of his fans. And y'all go and vote for him for that award, and vote for me or whoever on the Infinity. It's just amazing. You can go to my website. Well, not my website. I put it on Facebook. You can go to my Facebook page, and it's there with a link to where you can click on it and go vote. And remember, you're not only voting for me, there's other people in categories and everything else. vote for those artists because, son, they deserve it. They need all the help they can get. Remember, it's a numbers game out here, people. Like, share, follow, subscribe, even help this old guy out. And, I'm still blown away that my YouTube doesn't have that many subscribers on it. It's crazy as I'll get out, but you go to the view hours and the view hours is way up. So I don't know. I guess some people aren't subscribing like they used to it back in the day, but who knows? We'll figure it out. All right. We're getting off here. Everybody have a great night, and I'll be back on tomorrow. We're going to have Mr. Sammy Sadler on the show. Sammy's a real good friend of mine, and he's got some new music coming out, and I think it's going to be a great thing to have Sammy back out there and hopefully get him touring and doing what he does best, and that's sing. Don't quote me at that because I've talked to him. He talks pretty good too. All right, y'all. Everybody have a good night, and see me more later. Love you. Mean it. Bye.